thanks for joining us for Confessions and Convictions, as we normally would do. And now it is the 11th day of August on Tuesday evening. You know, I have a lot to say and a lot of different topics coming up, but I figured I'd go first with one that might hit home for some of you, about being good stewards. Now, which one of us doesn't want to be a good charitable giver? You know, when I first started out, I pretty much gave to every little charity I thought was good to give to. And then I found out something that surprised me. Not everyone raises up the name of Jesus, but not only that, some of them are pretty vested in their own interest. And then I got to thinking, okay, well, maybe we need to do a better job of stewardship. Maybe we need to get the magnifying glass out. Here it is. Take a good close look at some of these organizations. Yeah, because if they don't meet the standard, and if there's skeletons in the closet, you might want to consider they might not be the organization you want to give to. And I thought, okay, well, if we bless God's people, the Jewish people, that, it says, I will bless those, who bless Abraham, and I will curse those who don't. Well, so I thought, well, that's an obligation then. I got to do that. And then I looked into this. I have been giving to many Jewish organizations. I have a lot of Jewish friends, and who knows, maybe I have some Jewish fruits. I don't know. But I've been given to this one, the Simon Wiesenthal Center. See that? And I thought about, okay, well, how does it come to me? It says, exciting summer challenge. There's no explanation there. Why is it exciting? And by the way, who is this exciting for? I can tell you, most givers don't get that excited about giving, but that's okay. This is a Summer in Action Challenge Fund, a critical update, it says. Deadline with double your impact if you give by today. So you could go online, or you could do it in the mail. And it also, the thing I do like about most of these charities is some of them actually do give a post-paid return envelope. That helps. That's the way the postage, the postal department's happening today. I think what they say, they lost $2 billion last quarter. That's only in 3 or 4 months. That means they're losing $8 to $10 billion a year. What are they doing over there? All I see is the stamps keep going up, the packages keep going up. How much do these guys make? Because somebody's making too much money and giving way too little service. But that's another subject for another day. So here it says, Mr. Gearing, this is your last chance. That's right, it's my last chance to, what does it say? Double my impact. Oh my goodness. And it says, yes, Jim, I am rushing my double impact gift to you to meet the Summer Action Challenge. And I wrote, he says in June, and he says they're looking for $50,000. So they're looking for like a minimum donation of $18. All well and good. So I look them up a little bit, and I say, how much does the CEO make? Well, the CEO has a base salary of over $600,000 a year. You know, I'd like to run a charity from comfort of my office for $600,000 a year. He also has additional compensations. Must be, I don't know, benefits, sick pay, vacation, buyouts. So now he's up to almost $750,000 a year, 731, 735, which includes retirement and other benefits. I sure would like to have some of those benefits. I don't even think I'm making, well, I know I'm not making $731 a week. I might make that per month, but I'm not making $731,000. So I asked, well, how much money are they taking in? $31 million a year. Okay. Well, it doesn't look too bad. He's only making almost $1 million out of the 31. Oh. So how much is spent, and what's it spent on? So it says that program services, 73%. Sounds pretty good. Direct spending on Holocaust education. That's important. Fighting anti-Semitism. That's important. Human rights. Really, what rights do we have? Godly rights is much better. Administration and management, and then fundraising, 14, 13. That seems a little skewed to me because it says, where does this money specifically go? So then you look into it at a closer microscope, with a magnifying glass, total personnel and salaries. That's the total staff, payroll, tax wages, and employee tax benefits. That means it's going to cost them nearly $13 million of that 30 that they're going to spend just on employees getting somewhat of a job done. There's 42% right there. Other staff and salaries. I thought they just paid everybody. It says wages for non-executive. Those are the executives. $13 million. You're getting paid too much. And you're thinking, well, I'm giving for a good cause, ain't I? You're giving to their retirement fund and the college kids' retirement fund. But let's go on. It says non-executive employees, educators, researchers, curators, are paying out another $11 million. So right there is 75%, almost 76%. And you got the executive compensation, another $3 million. Salaries, top leadership, directors, and officers. What they do all day? Do they even show up 7 days a week? Do they even show up 5 days a week? Do they show up 1 or 2 days a week for a couple hours and then have lunch? 10%, $3 million. Advertising and promotion. Okay, that's where you see it's critical, right? You're not even spending 1% on advertising. $203,000 on the advertising, marketing campaign, social awareness. Many people don't even know who Simon Wiesenthal is. And then a media outreach. Okay, so $200,000 is spent on advertising. Considering all the other money is spent on people in high-rise offices with a nice view, that's crazy. Other operating expenses, office operations. Well, I have to have a nice office, and they have to pay the IT people and the computers if it goes down. And I got to pay for travel, and if they go in a hotel and maybe they do a couple of videos like YouTube or film documentary, there's another $18 million, so 58% has gone right into that. So really, pretty much 99% is spent on stuff that's not, just not advertising and not promotion, and who knows what they're doing, and yet you're donating. So my challenge to you is, you might want to think the next time. It's almost like the Seinfelds. What's it about? It's a story about nothing. That's what you're getting here. So that's the thought. Till next time, folks. Thanks for joining us. This has been Confessions and Convictions. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts. I'm a little baffled myself. So, till next time, God bless. Have a great day.